on the Calvin Riley Sr. trial. And what I would like to say is he was found guilty. You see the thumbnail, you definitely see what's taking place in this case. But he was found guilty on DUI charges and he's sentenced to 10 days in jail and 6 months on probation. Now, for the people that don't know anything, who's Calvin Riley, and you probably want to get a better understanding, let me play this video for you here, and then we're going to come back and speak more about the trial so you can get a full understanding on what actually happened to Mr. Calvin Riley. So let's go back here and see that the evidence was actually planted, but I guess it didn't mean nothing to this judge.
Meet Calvin Riley. He's being stopped by the Tallahassee Police Department on South Monroe.
Hello, sir. I'm Officer Oliver with Tallahassee Police Department. Do you have
She'll
your
plant
driver's license,
evidence of an
registration,
empty liquor bottle in Riley's car before arresting him for an alleged DUI. Riley's license is suspended, and officers decide to arrest Riley on a first offense for his suspended license.
Would you be willing to do some voluntary field sobriety exercises?
Not really.
Okay. Here, go ahead and step out of the vehicle for us.
They didn't tell him the consequences of refusing that voluntary test.
Just go ahead and face the corner of the car for us. Your license is
After
suspended.
detaining Riley, they ask him if he smoked any marijuana.
Mr. Riley, I got a quick question for you.
No problem.
So I smelled marijuana in your vehicle. Did you recently smell?
No.
Once he's arrested for driving with a suspended license, they can search his car. Officer Oliver leaves the car, does a 360, and then goes back in the car, retrieving a sealed liquor bottle and pours it out. That was the sound of the seal on the liquor bottle breaking. Here's another angle. While Officer Muth questions Riley about marijuana
Did
again,
somebody else smoke in your car earlier?
Oliver tosses the empty bottle into the passenger seat. They don't find any marijuana in the car. Here's Officer Oliver implying to Officer Muth that the empty bottle was likely what was in a cup in Riley's center console.
Cover where like the knee would sit, there's an opening, and he had it like tucked.
Okay.
And then the whatever he had in his cup also smelled.
Then Officer Muth tells a senior officer that they found open alcohol in the car, in both a bottle and a cup.
Did y'all search the car?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing in there?
No. Well, okay, so he had a bunch of alcohol stash in there, but
Nothing open or anything?
yeah, open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in his like Tervis in the center console, he had a mixed drink, and then under his knee, he had a like little bottle of vodka tucked away.
When officers group to discuss the case, they all ask each other if their body cameras are off.
Still alive. Any evidence of that?
Marijuana.
Yeah.
Are you still on?
The video ends at this point. Riley's arrest report states, quote, "A search of Riley's vehicle yielded a small bottle of vodka that was opened in a pocket in the driver's seat cover." Riley's case begins on Friday, April 5th in the Leon County Courthouse in Tallahassee.
Okay, so now that I want to play that so you can get a full understanding of what actually happened. The trial took place on the 5th, but actually the trial also was extended to today, which is April 8th, and he was found guilty and he must serve 10 days in jail and 6 months on probation for this DUI charge. So let's go ahead and play this video.
And we are following breaking news. A Tallahassee man found guilty in a controversial DUI trial. The jury just announcing its conviction in the last 30 minutes. The video of Calvin Riley's arrest got national attention last week. It shows the arresting officer finding an alcohol bottle in Riley's car, pouring it out and putting the empty bottle back in the car. The defense argued that the officer planted evidence. The state attorney's office said it was a mistake and that the officer arrested Riley because he had bloodshot eyes and slurred speech. The judge sentenced Riley to 10 days in jail and 6 months probation. Our Savannah Kelly will have a live report from the courthouse ahead on Eyewitness News at 5 and 6.
Okay, so let's go ahead and pause. All right, so let's go ahead and pause that. Now, we're going to get more into what actually happened. Let's go into so Calvin Riley found guilty in DUI trial involving viral TPD body cam video. The fix was in. When I noticed that the judge, right, every time the defense had something to say, the judge would either, uh, well, when they objected to a lot of the charges from the plaintiff, which a student, right? So now she on national stage, this student defense attorney, and she wielded so much power, and the judge disallowed her to do whatever she really wanted to do in this case. And then the judge, certain evidence which they tried to stop from being admitted, they admitted in the trial. So let's read here. Calvin Riley received a guilty verdict Monday in his DUI trial involving a viral TPD body cam video. We all saw that the evidence was planted. It doesn't matter what anybody say. That evidence was definitely planted. It was planted. And how are you going to say that an unopened bottle of alcohol, you place the bottle, let's back up. You empty out some of the contents of the bottle, and then you dump most of the contents out of the bottle, and then you place the bottle back in the car. So when the senior officer come, he asks, were any bottles open? And you say, yes, he had a bottle open, but let's be clear. There was no bottles open in the car, and in that cup that they kept saying reeked like alcohol was actually Arizona iced tea. All right. He was found guilty of DUI shortly after 3:30 p.m. Monday. He was sentenced to 10 days in jail and 6 months of probation. The Tallahassee driver under the influence case was thrown into the national spotlight just days ahead of the start of the trial Friday. If it was me and if he had the money, I would definitely request a retrial because the fix was in. This trial had politicians show up. They had so many people show up in the defense of the cop, even though she planted that evidence. Monday marked the second day of testimony in Riley's trial related to a May 23rd, 2023 traffic stop. Nearly a year after he was charged with a DUI, his encounter with police that day has taken center stage in a nationwide conversation on police conduct and ethics. The controversy comes after media outlet Our Tallahassee posted an edited clip, the arresting officer body cam footage, which shows in part the officer picking up a bottle from Riley's car during the incident, pouring out the contents, and placing the bottle back inside of the car. After the video gained thousands of views, and reactions last week, TPD released a statement denying allegations of any misconduct. Department officials declined to release the full footage until after the trial. Well, actually, the full footage is out, and I will tag that footage into this video. And in the footage that I'll release, clearly showcase the full video, and it showcases how the officer admitted on. Also, I did a video where the officer admits on stand that she did pour out the contents of the bottle, and she said that she was doing what was policy. Well, it wasn't policy. Nobody showcased that that's policy, that you gotta pour out anybody's property that's inside of their car, especially if it's unopened. And if it was policy, why you didn't pour out the cologne, why you didn't pour out the contents of that in that cup, and why you didn't do all of the above. Now, don't get me wrong, Calvin Riley license was suspended. What the state had to prove is that he received notice that his license was suspended. They didn't showcase that. And I believe it probably was they viewed some of the content that he displayed during that arrest on his part. What he should have probably did was remain silent. And of course, he didn't do that. It's his prerogative that he didn't do that. But when you walk up to somebody and say, you smell like marijuana, even though you do not smoke any marijuana, you may trigger people who don't like drugs. Officer Riley, I don't know how she sleep well at night because you poured out the contents of that bottle and you put it back in this car. And who was on the jury, we would never know. I would like to know, why did they found him guilty? But nevertheless, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe, as we'll be coming to you with more videos in the future. In my personal opinion, I think that it was wrong. You can leave your comments in the description and give your take on it. But nevertheless, we will see you in the next video. Hit that notification bell, as we're going to keep dropping videos about topics similar to this. But nevertheless, we'll see you next time.